Hi guys! Welcome to another Meghan Monday. I'm in Las Vegas right now. But today, I wanted to tell you the story of how I met the love of my life. That's right, you guessed it, Robert Downey Jr. I was just a high school kid who was in love with Robert Downey Jr. I found out that he was filming a movie in Georgia, where I lived at the time. And I had some dreams of acting and whatnot. And so when I heard about him filming the movie Due Date, I was like, I gotta get in this somehow. I gotta meet him. I gotta see the love of my life. And so I Googled super hard and I found the email of the casting director and I emailed him. I told him some of my acting experience and whatnot. He emailed me back. He said, be at the Georgia World Congress Center tomorrow at 4 a.m. And I was like, okay, I'll be there. Keep in mind, I did have school the next day and I didn't ask my parents if I could do it, but I agreed to it because I was in love. And so then I went downstairs and told my parents that I was gonna be in a movie and they were like, oh, okay, well, let's go get a hotel downtown. I was like, you guys are the best. I'm not saying it's a good thing to skip school, but if you get a job that could get you closer to your dream, I think it's okay to skip school for a day. And so then that night we stayed at a hotel and then the next morning I woke up at like 2:30 a.m. and I got ready to go on set. Dad drove me there. There was like hundreds of other people there and they like touched up my makeup a little bit. And then we went upstairs and they had the Congress Center set up to look like an airport. And so we were like going through like security lines and whatnot, and I had a backpack with me. We were filming for hours and hours. It was probably like 6 hours, and then finally it happened. I see this beautiful man running up the escalator. It was Robert. And so they were filming him like running through the airport, and he kept getting closer and closer to like my security line that I was in. And then the director ends up putting him in my line to like cut through all of us because he's rushing home to his wife who's having a baby, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie. So then they set up everything, and then Robert's like 10 feet behind me, behind a couple other people, and then they're like, action. And then he starts cutting through and he's like, excuse me, and he touches my left shoulder. And I think I died a little bit because I was so excited. I don't know if you know this or not, but they filmed the same exact scene like 100 times from all different angles. And they filmed that same scene probably like 30 times. And so he touched my shoulder like 30 times. He would say different things each time. He'd be like, excuse me, little girl, or excuse me, young lady. Then the director called me young lady because I was the youngest person there. And then Robert Downey Jr. was standing there and he started singing to me. He was like, lady. And I thought I was gonna die. And then I really thought I was gonna die because he asked me my name. He was like, what's your name? And I was like, I'm Meghan, it's so nice to meet you. He was like, likewise. Ever since then, likewise has been one of my favorite words. After that scene, we filmed us going through the actual like security detector thing, and I was right behind Robert in line again because he cut me. And so then we're filming that scene and I end up pushing his luggage. In the movie, unfortunately, they ended up cutting out like pretty much every part that I was in, except for like half a second you could see me walk behind him after they're like checking through his luggage. Also, on set that day, Zach Galifianakis was there, and it was his birthday. And Robert kept telling everyone that he was turning 23, but he was like actually turning 40, I think. And so, basically, that was the best day of my life. I was on set for 14 hours, by the way. I got to spend a small amount of that time with the love of my life, and now it's been like 7 years since I've seen him. But then later that night, I went out to dinner with my parents, and Zach Galifianakis was sitting at the table across from us, and I told my dad not to say anything, but as we were leaving, my dad was like, happy birthday, Zach. He was like, how does this random dude know it's my birthday? And then the movie came out 2 or 3 years later when I was a freshman in college, and I went to go see it with my friends, and I was waiting for my part, and they cut out everything except for that like half a second, which was sad, but it was still the best day of my life, and that's how I met the love of my life. The end. You made it through my whole video? That's amazing. You guys are champions. You're probably already subscribed, but if you're not, don't forget to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up because it's really hard to pee when you're wearing a onesie. And don't forget to watch my other videos. I got some good stuff in here, I promise. I love you.